So in that world, not the fantasy land where we fuel a modern economy with pixie dust and unicorn farts, but in the real world, where there's tens of millions of barrels of oil being consumed, I would rather that a progressive Canadian mining company like Teck, at the lowest end of carbon intensity for oil, was part of the source, rather than us abandoning global markets to OPEC dictatorships, to California heavy crude, with a massively higher carbon footprint. So I don't even understand why we're into this argument. I can tell you one thing, though. In Quebec, when there was a government-subsidized cement factory opened 2 years ago, the McInnes cement factory in Gaspésie, which is projected to emit 2 million tons of CO2 every year, they were exempted from environmental review by the federal government. They were exempted from any environmental review by this federal government. And I have absolutely no doubt that if Bombardier was proposing to spend $20 billion to build a massive new airplane factory in the province of Quebec, not only would the federal government be exempting them from any regulation of the CO2 output from those airplanes, but they would be falling all over themselves to offer subsidies. And I have no doubt that if GM or Chrysler was proposing to spend $20 billion to create 8,500 good blue-collar jobs in Ontario to create new cars, that not only the federal government would they exempt them from any regulation or limitation on the emissions to be produced by those cars, but they would be offering subsidies to get it done.